I'm just gonna skip the whole intro. What's happening? Well, I apologize for being away for like a year. I feel like it's such a toxic trait. I've been doing that for the past 2 years, I think. I apologize for disappearing for a whole year. And then I do the same exact thing again. I disappear for another entire year. Let's see if we can fit it up here. I think that works. Let's get into it. So you guys are gonna do my makeup with me. This is a Friday afternoon. My boss let me off early at work, so of course I'm happy about that. I just closed my shift and I finished most of the things I needed to do for today, so I'm happy. And I decided that, you know what, I have been thinking about getting back to YouTube for the longest time, and I decided, let's just get back. Let's just do this. I've missed you guys for sure. I really have. I've missed doing YouTube videos. Also just was figuring out life. Life just happens sometimes. I have been living and I've been enjoying my life. That's what's been up. We just recently moved. The house is a mess. We are trying to put everything together and it's fun. I'm honestly enjoying the entire process. As life goes by, I'm becoming such a process girl. I'm no longer about doing things like overnight. I'm totally okay with things taking a month to take shape, or a year or 2 years. I'm so settled in what life brings or whatever God has planned that I could be bothered less if this house is not yet in order in 2 months. Anyways, while we are at it, I was just thinking the other day about life and people and experiences, and this thought just crossed my mind. It's this fact that people like a version of you that they can understand. People like a version of you that they can define. So every time you try and step out of the usual or try and do something that people are not used to you doing, or challenging yourself to get into something new or someplace you've never been before, oftentimes it's met by a lot of questioning and criticism. Oh, are you sure you want to do this? Trust me, I do not mean when people are just genuinely looking out for you, because I understand friends and family always want you to be safe and know that you're making the right move. And even if you're gonna take a risk, I would want you to take a risk that's gonna be worth it. I wouldn't want you to throw yourself into something that's gonna cost you. But at the same time, there's this group of people who they get mad that you're doing something that they didn't see you doing. And so they will always make comments to discourage you or make you doubt yourself. And so this is what made me just have this thought about people getting so used to, for example, you guys probably know me. We've either met in school, we've probably gone to the same school, or we've met at some church, or we have just probably interacted somewhere, or you know me through my social media. Although I'm gonna say, when people post on social media, that's just, sometimes that's a quarter of their realities or a quarter of their lives. So you can't really say you know someone just because you see them posting. That's a fraction of their lives. So we've probably interacted in one way or another. You know, this version of me that loves makeup, loves fashion, or loves all these artistic things. So say I decide to go to med school or just do something, or go to engineering school, or do something that's not, hi babe. Mwah. Nico job. Niko job. Ona nimepaka paka. Step out of my comfort zone, enroll for engineering and something like that. So I know for sure the people I have around me, my friends, they would be like, you know what, Pedal, if this is what you want to do, I'm behind you 100%. But there's this group of people that will be like, oh, you want to go to med school now? I don't even know if this conversation is making sense, honestly. It's making sense in my head, but I'm not sure I'm saying it the way I'm thinking about it in my head. So let's recenter back to that statement that people will always want a version of you that they can understand. And this can be dangerous because if you're gonna do things by the approval of your friends or people around you, it's so limiting when people just want the version of you that they can understand. As soon as you maybe start to talk about parts of you that you've probably struggled with, or parts of you that many people don't know about, it suddenly becomes uncomfortable for people to be around you. It suddenly becomes uncomfortable for people to talk about their association with you. And so my 2 cents about this whole matter is that life is supposed to be a journey of discovering yourself. There's no point in this life where you'll be like, now I am completely discovered. The only person who really knows us is God. So everybody else is just gonna keep learning who we are, and you are gonna keep learning who you are. You don't know what you can do just yet. You don't know your limitations. You don't know so many things about yourself. So if you give into this version of you that people know and understand, and limit yourself to just keeping that version so that you're always accepted, you're always blending, I feel like you do yourself so much disjustice. Is that even a word? You do yourself disservice, period. I know I had it in there. So you do yourself a lot of disservice because you just want to fit into this version of you that's accepted by everyone. And you don't want to be in touch with every part of you, even those parts of you that people will not accept. Because I have a best friend that I love very much, right? And I love every part of her. She has a very vulnerable side, which I adore. She has a very tough side, which I also absolutely love. And I see how she gets into it. I see how when it's sort of like a switch that gets activated when it's like business. She's on top of her thing, very smart girl doing all of the things, changing the world and doing all these amazing things. But there's also a part of her that's so vulnerable, that's so beautiful, a part of her that's super dependent on God, and a part of her that is also very independent. It's interesting to just watch her grow and to be part of her life. So there's all these versions of you, and to be accepted, when you want to be understandable to people, then you're not gonna be able to explore all these versions of yourself, because the thing that's at the back of your mind is, are people gonna accept this version of me? Are people gonna like this version of me? Let me use an example of myself, just because it's easier that way, with content creation. So being a content creator, it's a whole journey of itself, and I didn't know I was gonna be a content creator. And I'm not even saying this because I'm a big deal. I'm just somewhere in between discovering myself and asking myself what I really want out of this. So I'm kind of in that phase. So sometimes I'm posting all of this content, and I have moments where I'm asking, so what do people think about me? Especially when I post out content and it doesn't do as well as I thought it was gonna do. It used to be a big problem for me in the past, because I used to be like, oh my gosh, I spent so much time doing this and then it's just not received the way I thought. But these days I'm just like, you know what? I'm having fun. I am here to enjoy myself. Whatever comes out of it, I have zero expectations. So now I'm in a way better place than I was months ago. And it's taken a lot of consciously working on myself and just taking it easy. Just that. So now I have zero expectations about where this road is gonna lead. Just like, I'm having fun. That's the goal of everything I do as far as content creation is concerned. So I was gonna say, just when I was starting out, I probably had those thoughts. Am I really a content creator? People, how will my friends think of me? And all of this stuff. And of course, this is a version of me that maybe there are people who never knew existed. And so I haven't had this conversation with my friends. My foundation is almost over, so I'm gonna mine every drop left. I love this foundation so much. It's the Huda Beauty Hot Fudge. Love it. Can you guys see? Yep. I love this foundation so much. It just blends into my skin so well. Anyway, so what Bobby's saying. So I was, yes babe. But I know there were people who were like, so now what is she doing? She's embarrassing herself doing all of these videos. I would never do that, because this is a version of me that they're not used to. They're probably used to this church girl who's always talking about God. And I love that part of me also. And so they're not used to this girl who's bold and out here changing outfits, doing all of this crazy makeup looks and adding green eyeshadow to her eyes and all of these things. So it's a version of me that they are not used to. So imagine if I just wanted to fit into that version. I would have never known this part of me. I would have never known how much I love to express myself through what I wear and through what I create as a makeup artist and through all the forms of expression, my captions, my speech, all of it. I would have never gotten in touch with those parts of myself if I just wanted to maintain this version of me that everyone is used to. I think I'm starting to say it, I'm hearing it in my head. I would have never known all of these sides of me. And me knowing all of these sides of me speaks to other people who are also figuring out themselves. So imagine if I just stuck to what people know or what I have grown up knowing that I can do, I would have robbed myself of so many opportunities, of so many experiences. I can't imagine not ever picking up a makeup brush. I can't imagine not ever doing my first styling video. I can't imagine never putting myself out there as a professional makeup artist. Or may we never lose our wonder. Wide-eyed and mystified, may we be just like a child staring at the beauty of our king. Chills. That's a beautiful song, that song to date. And I know the context is not losing our wonder in God and in beholding the beauty of God and our Father. But in the same light, do not lose the wonder of how He created you. You are not created to be defined by this one experience or this one thing that you can do. And as a creative myself who's interested in multiple things, see, I love music. I can't sing, I can't dance so well, but I love music. I enjoy music. I love art. I can't paint, but I can do makeup and I can try to interpret art in my own way. That's the beauty of art. There's no clear lines. There's no this is the only way to interpret this or this is the only way to hear this message. There's multiple ways to get around, and that's why I love the art world, because it's so liberating to be an artist and you can take on new identities every single day. If I wake up today and I decide today I'm gonna be this, I can become that. So I am interested in so many things, and I feel like that has also been a challenge for me, just growing on my socials, because today I want to do a vlog, tomorrow I want to do this and that. I never like to be boxed. That's my biggest problem, guys. And I'm being very vulnerable with you guys right now. I do not like being boxed. I like to always keep my options open. You'll be shocked. Please don't be shocked if you hear I went into med school to pursue a career in maybe pediatrics or radiology. I definitely don't think I can do that right now. But I just like to always keep my options open. So when someone's trying to tell me that you only fit in this box, like, let's fight. I like to be a jack of all trades because I've seen how much it's helped me to just have all of these skills and be able to do all of these things. So it's not fair to define people by only just this one thing that they can do. For example, there could be so many footballers and basketballers who are also great musicians, but they'll probably just be known for their football. And there could be musicians who are also very good at football, but they'll just be known for their music. I'm gonna say that it's so important for us to always approach people knowing that there's more to them than our eyes meet or than we even know. They could be your colleagues, but unless someone really opens up their life to you, you don't really know them. And so give people room to be multiple things. That's all I'm saying. Let people be as many things as they want to be. Don't be the voice that's telling people, oh, I think you should just stick to this. If someone's going to make a decision not to do something, let it come from their own experience. Don't be the voice that's telling people, oh, I don't think you'll be good at this. You encourage people and let them do everything they want to do. Give yourself also to growing in other things. Don't just be okay with one identity. Oh, I sing. Don't get me wrong, singing is beautiful, for sure. If I could sing, trust me, No one in this world would have known peace because I would be releasing albums every week. My voice on top of the mountain. In the neighborhood, they would have probably kicked me out of this place already because of overusing my talents. Give yourself to learning new things. Give yourself to exploring different things and having multiple identities. I think it's really cool when I find people who are very much in the academia world, but they're also good at something else. It thrills me, honestly. And so now that I'm also coming towards the end of grad school, last year, this time I was probably thinking about enrolling to a PhD. And I'm probably still thinking about it, not immediately. But I'm always in this war in my head of, do I want to go into academia completely? Because it requires so much time to stay informed, do research, do contributions and all of that, which I think is also very beneficial for the world now. But at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, I love my creative side and I wanna really explore and I really wanna give myself chances as a creative. So I feel like sometimes I have to pick a path. But until that time comes where I can only just do one thing, I'm gonna keep growing my interest simultaneously. I'm gonna take that risk to grow my interests in the academia and also as an artist and see where that leads and see if it's possible to. But I'm gonna say I'm biased. I love my creative side more, but that doesn't mean that I cannot contribute to conversations today about things that are close to my heart and research topics and all of these things. So that's kind of where we are at. But like I told you guys, don't be shocked if I take my next degree in medicine, or you never know. I'm also kind of curious to hear your thoughts about this entire conversation. Have you ever found yourself in a space where you're having to choose this or the other? But then again, the world has this perception about people in the arts and people who say pursue their creative abilities as maybe not so serious. So sometimes that's the motivation to why I want to continue furthering my studies, so that when I tell you I'm a makeup artist or when I tell you I'm a content creator, that's not where it ends. That's just where it starts, because I have all of these other credentials and I'm also a doctor in psychology, dentistry. That's honestly been a big motivator for me to be in school, read books, because I just don't want people to think, oh, because this girl does makeup, that's all she knows. In my home country, I had experiences where you would do makeup on this people or these clients who just think you never went to school. And I would be like, ma'am, I actually have a degree. I'm doing this because I love this. It's not because life has forced me into this. I love doing this makeup, and that's why I'm going to charge you what I'm charging, because it's taken me quite some time to build this skill. So I would appreciate if you can put some respect on that. So I would have all of this experience with clients who just think they can talk over you just because you're paying me, what, 2,500 Kenyan shillings? That's not how it goes. So those experiences are also the things that really push me to want to, further my studies, because there's this whole perception of people in the beauty industry are not smart enough, or like haven't gone to school, or like cannot make meaningful contributions because they're only good as their faces or their makeup or their lipstick. And I think it's a very stupid way of thinking. It's a very limited way of thinking. And that's the whole thing that still exists in a very patriarchal society. Like, all women who look good, cannot contribute to the society, cannot make meaningful contributions to society, or cannot influence policies, or cannot do all of that thing. But as long as I'm going to be in this space, I'm going to work so hard so that people know that deciding to do an art or deciding to follow your dream has nothing to do with you being smart or not. I was not going to turn this into another ranting session, so I'm going to skip the ranting part. Or at least find the right audience, because it's not you guys, it's other people in this world that make me want to rant a lot. Unfortunately, we have come to the end of this video. I know, guys, I also wanted to stay on, but I have a ton of things to do, and I imagine you also have 1,001 things to do. So if there's one thing I need you to take away from this video, is that people are always gonna want a version of you that they can understand and define and box. So please, by all means, fight to never be boxed. Love you guys. I will see you next time, and I promise this time it's not gonna be an entire year. Bye.